some things, man, I'm telling you, just do not make any sense. The way that people like do the things they do, they don't realize they are making life like so much worse for themselves by being in this place where you're just looking at everybody else, hating on everybody else that is achieving things that you're not achieving, hurting other people, and just doing things to get over on people, which is not fair. But I've said it a million times and I'll say it again, life is not fair. But things happen. People make decisions not in their best interest a lot of times, and that's how you lose. By making easy decisions in not a positive way. So you're making easy decisions to look at somebody else, look at their life, zoom in on it and hate on them, not respect them, or to just do somebody wrong in general, like walk into somebody's life. Take all the love you can get from them and just discard them as if nothing not even happened. People are not aware. Some people that do these things are not even aware sometimes of what they're even doing. Like they're just clueless. Because it's not that they're not aware. They just don't care enough. They don't care enough to respect somebody else. And this is just not how I'm wired as a person. This was never how I was wired as a person. This is never what I did. But I've been done too in this way. People have done this to me in the past when I was young, whenever I was naive. And it's these same exact people that end up in a world of hurt because of what they did to others. You can't expect to do these things and be in a good place. You are not in a good place if you are doing these things to other people. Hating, being jealous of other people, doing people wrong, doing people dirty, doing all these things. It's all a form of hate. None of it is coming from a place of love. None of it. And that is why these people end up in a world of a mess because of what they're doing to everybody else. Because they don't care. That's how that's who they are. That's how they have to do things. They feel it is necessary to do these things to get over on others. They feel it is necessary to do that. They feel they have to do that. And they never win. And they're the same people that's always hating on everybody else who was winning, who was doing things right, who was putting in the work, who was putting the extra miles, who was sacrificing, who was suffering to achieve their goals and dreams and desires. They're the same exact people. So, what they don't understand, like I said, is they are their own worst enemy. They do these things without even thinking twice. In their head, they're doing it and they don't care. But there's always consequences to it. Like I said, if you're doing these things, any of these things at all that I mentioned, if you're doing any of these things, you're in a very bad place. You are in a place of lack if you are doing these things. And even if you lack, you shouldn't be doing these things anyways. A lot of people lack. A lot of people lack something that they don't have that they would want. But you don't hate. You don't hate and you don't envy towards the things that you might not have right now. That's not how you get it. That's what they don't understand. It's like they already made up in their minds that they're never going to have it, so they just hate it. Hate, hate, hate. You ain't never getting it. So if you really want it, and this is a message to them, if you really want it, you have to get yourself out of that hateful place and start changing your mindset in a different way, where now you're in an abundance and you're not hating. When I see people doing impressive things in this world, I'm not hating on that. You take inspiration from it. People like to hate on everybody. People like to hate on Jake Paul, for example, because he's a YouTube kid. He's a Disney star. He's that kind of a guy. And now he's fighting boxers. He's fighting people that are actually lethal, like Tyron Woodley. He's fighting him a second time. And people are hating on him for that because he's achieving greatness. He's doing things that's never been done. People hate for no reason. Instead of looking at it in a way where you're going to respect him for what he's doing, people decide to go the opposite way and hate because they lack. And this is a great example. People are always hating on things they lack, when you're never going to get anything if that's what you're doing. You got to start to learn to look at it in a more positive way. Take inspiration from it. Take energy from it. One of the most amazing, impressive things I've ever seen in my entire life to this day was Conor McGregor when he came up out of nowhere on the rise. I've seen so many things in him that I've seen in me. That belief, that confidence, that I don't care what anybody thinks of me. I'm going to do this. I'm going to make this happen. Type attitude, that unstoppable confidence. I've seen so much in me that I've seen in him. And a lot of people like to hate. A lot of people like to hate on that. Oh, look at this guy. Oh, look at this clown. He's never going to do this. He's never going to do that. He proved everybody wrong. By a landslide. Became the most famous, most paid, highest paid athlete in the entire world. You see how these things are done? And this is just why a lot of people need to understand to not take that approach. It's a very bad look. It is a very, very bad look to take that negative approach. Whenever I see negativity on this channel, for example, I'll fire back at it sometimes, because I sometimes want these people to realize how wrong they really are. If you're saying anything negative whatsoever, you're in the wrong. Like, you don't get that. There's nothing you can say that is negative, that is right. It's just, it makes no sense. It makes no sense. These people are hateful. They're spiteful. I see people make comments, the same person saying the exact same things in every single video. Like, literally the exact same comment. He must copy and paste that negative comment and comment it on a whole bunch of videos. Like, how pathetic is that? That says everything about you and nothing about me. For example. Like, it just makes no sense. You realize who you are. Do you realize how embarrassing that actually is? You are in a very bad place to be doing some shit like that. So, and that's doing people wrong, in my opinion. It's going to come back around. You're never going to get good things in life being that person. Doing those things. You're never going to be that person. You're never going to be the person you want to be. For hating on other people in the world, for doing good things, for doing better things. You're just never going to get anything. You're always going to be a hater. You're always going to lack. It's never going to be good for you. as long as you continue this type of behavior, it's never going to be good. Like, do these people really believe they're going to be blessed for doing these things? Do they think they're going to be a hero for doing these things? It just boggles my mind how you could be that person to be like that. You're in a very bad place, and there's nothing else to be said about it. That is a fact. And everybody who's even a little bit sane knows that. You are a very disgusting person with a disgusting mindset. You need to change your ways. You're never going to attract anything from being like that. I love giving haters a lesson. I really do. Because I want everybody to win. I don't want these people. And as crazy as it might sound, because like people think I might be right against haters, which I am, but at the same time I'm not, because it's like there really does need to be more love in the world. And sometimes, even if I could say something, I want to influence you in a positive way. If I can influence these people in a positive way to change their negative destructive behaviors, to make them see their own faults, that is an amazing thing. If I could do that, if I had the power to change these people and make them realize their negative patterns, their negative behaviors, how they're never going to attract anything. Instead, take inspiration from everything. Take inspiration of people that are getting good results. Take inspiration from people that are becoming successful, who is working very, very hard every single day to make things happen. If they could change their behaviors because of something I said, that's amazing. That's very powerful in a very positive way. So, yes, I'm against them, and at the same time, I'm not, because we want to switch them to better people at the same time. But unfortunately, there's always going to be haters. And they're always going to exist. And that is the cold hard truth. You can't change everybody. You can't make these people be better. You might be able to make a bit of an impact and change some of these people and do better. I've seen some people even admit that they used to be like that, but they're not no more. So that's an amazing thing in itself. But the truth is, there's just always going to be somebody. There's always going to be something to do with hate. There's always going to be that. It could be a 95-5 ratio out of 100. There's always going to be hate. But, you know, we try to even make these people realize their faults and what they're doing wrong. And it just makes no sense to hate on other people for what they do, like Jake Paul, like Conor McGregor, like this person, like that person, whoever it is. It just makes no sense. You're not going to achieve anything. You don't look cool. It's not a good look. You're never going to get good results doing that. Like, what do you think you're going to do? Nothing. Nothing good comes out of it. That's what these people just will never understand. They'll just never understand it, because they would rather do that. They would rather be that person, and it's a bad look. A bad look. Cheeto eating dorks, bro. It's not a good look. Like me personally, if that was me, I would be embarrassed to be a person like that kind of a person. Going on social media, going under like professional athletes' pages, and just commenting such negative things to bring them down. There's so many trolls out there. There's so many of those people out there. And like, you couldn't be in a worse position for yourself. Like, Nobody in their right minds does things like that. Nobody. But they just feed into that, they feed into that, they feed into that, because it's like they hate it so much. They low-key want to be a part of it. They're invested. Which is why they take the time and the energy out of their day to do that, to take that approach. Even hate is love at the same time. It's an unusual thing. Very unusual thing, but it's never a good look. And you're never going to attract the right people being that way. And you're never going to get rewarded for being that way. Never in history will you ever get rewarded for being that way. So it's something to think about. I'm going to cut this video short. And I'm going to get on with the next one. So I'll be back.